Okay, I'm going to do a video here that's going to incriminate myself, and it should be entertaining. I'm not proud of everything that I've done. The point isn't to argue anything. All I'm doing is telling the story of how it happened to me. And we all have our points of view, but this is the way that I saw things happen. And so I'm not putting the blame on Forrest Fenn. He had his part to play. I'm not putting the blame on Jack Stuef. He had his part to play, and I definitely played my part. So anyway, if we come here and we go to Jack Stuef here, and he put this video here, so we're in the video here, and if you go down to his notes or in the description, he's got this big long thing that you watch. It's got a lot of great information. It takes you to some other stuff. Anyway, this is, he released it when he released his name. But down here, this was pointed at me. This is, in my opinion. It goes, this is my favorite interview of Forrest. He is in rare form here, and I always chuckle at 29, 25. I am sharing this not because I think there are any hints or important slip-ups here. I don't. But because I think other searchers who miss Forrest will enjoy seeing it. So you click on this, and it takes you to the part of the interview. And why is it in here unless there's a reason for it to be in there? So let's go ahead and click on it.
What do you say to people who think you're crazy or a public nuisance, or that you're like getting people to dig up outhouses or graves or national parks or any of that kind of stuff?
I pretty much agree with them. I mean, how can you be a maverick? I hope somewhere in my distant past there was a pirate, because I have that instinct in me, I think. I mean, I never wanted to break the law, but I wanted to bend some of them a little bit. How do you know where the edge is if you don't go out there and look? And I'm not the type of person that you'll find walking down the center line. It's just not part of me.
Yeah, so, he hopes that in his distant past there was a pirate. I'm just going to narrate some of my thoughts into this. But, that eliminated lots of people, because if you're not going to live on the edge like Forrest Fenn, you're not going to find it. I mean, he just eliminated, 90% of the searchers. But that's all right. It was still fun. Anyway, there's some more good information here. Let's play some more here.
Do you feel like you want to inspire other people to have those feelings, or to do things that are a little different than they would normally do?
I don't know that I can inspire anybody. A personality is a personality. If you don't have it in you, then you can just laugh and go play canasta. That's the way a lot of people are. But
so right there, he's telling you, if you don't got it in you, just go laugh and play canasta. And he used that, if you don't know where to begin, you might as well go play canasta. Anyway, that's a hint too, but it's also, he's voicing either you got it in you or you don't. So we'll go on.
But I have inspired some people because they've told me that by emails. I would never have gone to Yellowstone or to Yosemite or to Bandelier if you had not lured me out there with this treasure story.
So, that's basically all on that particular video that I wanted to put in there. Now we're going to go to, I just find it interesting that, I did what I did by digging in that cemetery. Let's make that correct. And, a lot of people say, well, Forrest Fenn said that it wasn't in a cemetery. Well, he said it wasn't in a graveyard. And a lot of people don't realize this, but while I was in the cemetery for 25 days digging holes, I think I was accredited for digging 22 holes. But, I didn't dig that many. But, a gopher dug over there and I got the credit for it. But yes, I did dig a lot of holes. But what you don't understand is I sent at least 3 emails to Forrest Fenn stating, I don't want to be in here doing what I'm doing. Would you please clarify your hint that you gave that it's not in a graveyard? Does that include cemetery? And you would think that's a pretty straightforward question. I mean, and I'm saying, I don't want to be in here. I think it's stupid what I'm doing, but I'm just stupid enough to do it. So basically I sent him those emails and he did not respond. So like Jack, which Jack is a fictional character, and Jack is playing my part, and Jack is telling parts of my story mingled with his, because you can't tell all the truth or you would see through it. So anyway, you would think that he could clarify that. It's pretty simple. Jack says, well, Forrest Fenn told me not to dig in Yellowstone. Yeah, well, I guess he just forgot to get around to me. You know what I'm saying? And here's another bitch and whine. And like I'm saying, I'm not saying that I didn't do what I did, because I did, okay? So I'm guilty, all right? And I'm not saying that I'm putting the blame on Forrest Fenn, but like I said, again, he played his part, I played my part. So you can get out of it what you would like to get out of it. And what it comes down to is I sent him a picture of pretty much every damn hole I dug in that cemetery. So with an email, I mean, I don't know if he really wanted to stop it from happening. He could have got some far off relative to contact one of my relatives to contact me to tell me, knock it off. Or he could have just sent me an email, knock it off. Or he could have, the imagination. I mean, if he wanted to be anonymous, he could have left a message from a payphone or gone to a restaurant and used their phone to call. I don't know. If you got enough imagination, you can figure out how he could have done what he could have done to stop me. But neither here nor there, okay? I still did it. I still claim, responsibility for my misdeeds, and I've definitely paid a price for it. I'm not even agreeing with the price that I've paid, but still, I did pay a price. I deserved to pay a price, and here we are now. So anyway, I'm going to go on to Jack Stuef, which is another wonderful player in this little production. And, I'm a part of this production now, whether I like it or not, and I'm going to tell my story. So, whether anybody wants to watch it or not. So on to the emails. Okay, so this is an email sent by me, and if you ain't figured out who I am, I guess now you can. Anyway, I wrote, I have solved that wonderful damn poem. I've found it, and I would like to take possession of the other it. It seems to be the link that is left of you seem to be the link that is left of Forrest Fenn for the conclusion of this particular treasure hunt. I would like to meet you in Santa Fe and take possession of the treasure. Ring the doorbell, ring the bell in the backyard. I don't care. Write a book. Okay, it is finished by me. So, I believe that part of the solution is you got to write a book to be in the wood. We'll go on to the next one. Okay, I was a little out of order because that is the last email there that I sent Jack. Well, I have sent him some since, but That's another story. And so do you want me to reveal the location of 179? I have pictures. It's at one place on the globe, which is a wheel. And that's... Oh, Jack replies, of course, maybe it is gibberish, but if you know the end, he knows what I'm talking about. And he goes, I don't know what you mean. So I just write, thanks for the reply. Have a great one. Then again on this date here, which is February 3rd, I write, Jack, I don't know exactly how you play into this, but you do. Your articles tell me so, the Medium articles. Your email address tells me so. Your very name tells me so, etc. Find it, I have. It never... They never knew it was the chase they saw and not the quarry. Anyway, the end is Forrest Fenn. The end is Forrest Fenn's vault in Santa Fe, where it all began. We shall not cease from our exploration, and at the end of our exploration will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. Anyway, these are all end numbers, and 79 is Forrest Fenn, and the poem counting the commas is 179, and I can show you where, if you go to scrapbook 179, he talks about commas, and that gets you from 166 words to 179. So Jack, how's this work? I want to be friends. I have enough shit coming my way. Help in this thing would be great. So there's that email to Jack Stuef. Anyway, here's another email after that. I go, life's a game of poker. Happiness is the pot. Fate deals you 4 cards and a joker, and you play whether you like it or not. My cards suck right now. Did Forrest use the scissors? Because the fates have, one of them has the scissors, and that ends your life. I don't know. It's just a comment. So that's those emails. Then maybe he was getting sick of all the emails I was sending him, but it's not really that many, and they are spaced apart. But there's a lot of people emailing him, and it goes, Jack, hope to find you doing well. I thought I would show you the relevance of the double omega if you didn't already know, because in the Medium article he's like, I don't know what the double omegas are. The treasure is out there waiting for the person who can make all the lines cross in the right spot. That's a quote from Forrest Fenn. Read the blogs for entertainment and the poem like you are going to put an X on the map. And then like the 10th clue that's not in the poem is there's not an X in the poem. There's a map to the precise spot. It will be waiting there with some imagination, because it's not there. Anyway, and then this is a map of the cemetery, and the omegas would be 1 omega and 2 omega, and if you mirror it, it makes X marks the spot, and that's his little plane right there. So there's a map, and that comes from one of his scrapbooks. All right, so this is where it gets kind of interesting, and it goes, I have solved the poem. Hello, I am the true finder of the exact spot, or it, because that's what you're looking for, the exact spot or it, because he didn't bury that treasure in the cemetery. He didn't bury it in Yellowstone. Anyway, I know the solution in number, in word, in picture. I know a huge quantity of hints, clues in the book, the scrapbooks, and the spoken word of Forrest Fenn. Watch my videos. I sure do. Anyway, there are more clues in to the precise end than any other subject in the chase. He covers that in numbers and little clues and little whatevers and whatever. I mean, I don't want to give the solution all, but I do feel that it is of no advantage to me or you. I believe I can give enough clues and hints to prove my case, which I do if anybody was a seriously minded individual and wanted to know, but there doesn't seem to be any left, and there doesn't seem to be any that are open-minded enough to want to know. So we'll just go on with that. I do believe that Yellowstone National Park will sue the Forrest Fenn estate if the solution were to come out, and maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. So, but I was kind of like, maybe greed, I don't know. Lots of things could enter into that, but I just, if this needed to go quietly under the rug because of what I did, then so be it. But, all I got was shit shoveled my way from the Forrest Fenn community. Well, no, there's great ones, and they've been pretty good, but, there has been zero contact officially in any form that anybody else could see. So they have definitely put me out there, which, I guess maybe it works out that way. But, if they didn't want this stuff to happen, they got to, let me know. Anyway, but they didn't. So here it is. I will be sentenced to 6 months prison time and 6 months house arrest with a $67 restitution. And that's what it was going to be, but they knocked it down to $32,000. Thank goodness. I mean, that's nice. For the irresponsible method in which I employed to figure out the solution. And it was irresponsible. But I have to tell you, it really did help me figure it out. Because every time I dug a hole, I figured out it wasn't there. And so then I had to rethink and think some more. And so actually I couldn't get past my thoughts without proving it wasn't there, because I kept coming to the end and thinking I was to the end, but I definitely wasn't. And I wasn't smart enough to figure that out. But through irresponsible methods, I did figure that out. I am not threatening anyone. I'm just trying to be upfront, inform you that I am a part of the game. Sorry for all the trouble. I would like to be friends or partners in this conclusion in some matter. Roderick Craythorne. So there's that email. So Jack Stuef finally, he emails me back here, and he sends that after that last one I just read. He goes, "Your inability to listen to Forrest, who explicitly told us the treasure was not in a cemetery, gave a bad name to searchers everywhere." There's a lot of other searchers giving bad names to everywhere. I don't know. Anyway, I'm one of them. If you still believe that the treasure was there, I hope you will take advantage of mental health resources while in prison. And, I did get some mental health resources, so it's very kind of Jack to be concerned about me this way, that's nice of Jack, so he's a good guy. Okay, this is my response to that, and I'll have to admit, I wasn't really in the right mind, and I did get a little irritated, I mean, I got, maybe some steam coming out of my ears, and, I deserved some of that. I get it, maybe it was a friendly little treasure hunt, and I went beyond the bounds, but, like I said, we all got our parts to play. So here it goes. This is my, I shot this back at Jack Stuef, and he goes, he explicitly said it was not in a graveyard, and graveyard and cemetery are two different things, and I already explained that, hey, I tried to clarify this with Forrest Fenn, but he wouldn't clarify it with me. Anyway, graveyard and cemetery are two different things. And if Forrest would have gave one important clue, you don't have to break any laws in order to get my treasure, he would have solved a whole bunch of problems. Now just think about that particular statement. if Forrest Fenn would have gave the simple clue, I got to break any laws in order to get my treasure, he would have solved the guy that rebelled down into the thing. He would have solved the guy that took his truck in the Yellowstone and they had to air flight his truck out. He would have solved a whole bunch of people digging in other graveyards or cemeteries. I think there were cemeteries. He could have solved a whole bunch of problems, but he didn't. And, all those individuals had it in them, and all those individuals chose to do what they do. And, it doesn't come back on Forrest Fenn, but, in our society, nobody claims credit for their own. It's always somebody else's fault. Well, it's not Forrest Fenn's fault that I dug in there, but he definitely had his part to play, because I don't think I usually go around digging in cemeteries. It's not like my hobby unless there's some guy hiding $1 million somewhere. Then I'm like motivated that, you're like, hey, that $1 million would be nice, if I get away and I dug, quite a few holes, and I did, they took a survey and nobody even knew that I was doing them, but, after a while you keep doing it. And I dug some in some grassy areas, and the grass didn't fit back very perfectly. I mean, I meticulously put all the stuff on tarps, and then I'd meticulously put it back, and I'd work at it because I didn't want to get caught. And I got away with it for quite a long time, but you're going to get caught breaking the law if you keep doing it over and over, and you shouldn't break it anyway. So there you have it. Anyway, my ramblings will probably get me in trouble. Who knows? Maybe you guys in the comments can, help me by, giving me some life advice, like give it up, get on with life, all that great stuff. But anyway, here we go. But no, he got a kick out of seeing other people break the law for him. And, just watch the beginning of this again and have him chuckle. You're right, people. And no, I don't think, and let me get it right. I like Forrest Fenn. I think he's I actually had a fun-ass time, it was a blast, trust me. But, there's a bad side to it and a good side, pros and cons. And, I'm grateful that he did the chase, and I'm sorry that I put pressure on him and his family and all that stuff. But, I did my part, he did his part. So we'll just go on from there, all right? And, I would like to shake the man's hand. And I don't bear him any, I don't lay awake hating Forrest Fenn. Now, my wife, on the other hand, might have a problem with him, but she's even over it, and it's just a natural thing when something goes wrong, you got to blame somebody. But oh well, here it is. And no, I don't think the treasure was in the cemetery. It never was. It was always in Santa Fe. Talk about giving the search community a bad reputation. What are you doing for it? Good thing no Down syndrome kids were looking for this treasure, or you'd probably rip on them. I guess I see your true colors now. Anyway, like I said, I was a little hot there, and and I can be a lot worse than that, and you've seen a lot worse from the actors in Forrest Fenn's little community. So I guess, I really got them good there. So on to the next. Okay, so anyway, I guess I did this one after I've solved that wonderful damn poem. I found it, and I would like to take possession of the other it. Anyway, the treasure. You seem to be the link that is left of Forrest Fenn for the conclusion. Oh, this is the one I did at first. It's the last one. I did it some months after I cooled down or whatever. I'd like to meet you in Santa Fe and take possession of the treasure. Ring the doorbell, ring the bell in the backyard. Don't care, write a book. Okay, it's finished. Anyway, I have written a book. It's pretty good book for me. Anyway, and then there's one more thing to go after, and that'll be a wrap. Anyway, so Jack Stuef didn't like our little talk there. Anyway, So basically he sent an email with all of our exchanges to my lawyer. And this is what my lawyer wrote here in this email to me. He goes, "For your case, I'm worried that this person may try to call the court and sabotage your sentencing. I would like to talk to you about how I should address this as well. I hope you're doing okay. Let me know how I can best help you." Anyway, that was to my lawyer, and the lawyer was talking to me. Anyway, so Jack Stuef reached out to him, and he told him that, let me see if I can find what he told him. Okay, yeah, here it is. Sorry, missed that. But either way, this is from Jack Stuef. Got, anyway, more information than we want there. And it goes, "Your client has been contacting me thinking he deserves the treasure. He has already put a black mark on the Fenn searchers by refusing to listen to Forrest's explicit instruction that it was not hidden in a cemetery and going out and damaging one anyway. These emails show a lack of contrition. I'm not humble enough here. Okay? And I think you should be aware before he gets himself in further trouble. Jack Stuef, your concerning individual for your welfare. Jack Stuef, watching out for me." What a nice guy. You just got to like this guy. Anyway, I don't really got a problem against Jack Stuef. He's just a player too. So, I don't know. I think there's a lot of players in this, and I don't know what, you could go to Scrapbook 215 and there, he changes players. And I think if you do some videos and Forrest Fenn liked the quality of your videos, he would reach out to you and go, "Hey, I'd like to have you make some videos," and he'd tell you what to say, and then boom, you'd be on his list of employees in some fashion. I don't know the way he rewarded or the wording or whatever, but it's already been, each one of them tells truth, but they tell you a whole bunch of crap along with it. So anyway, that's enough incriminating evidence against me, and hopefully nothing bad comes of it. But I'm not out for anybody. I'm just telling a story because, wow, this story is deep, and it just goes deeper and deeper. And man, if I had the guts to tell it all, there'd be so much laughter and people shaking their heads, and it'd be unbelievable. It's just like, oh my gosh, yeah, I should have pulled my head out of my ass, huh? Anyway, it was fun. Keep smiling. We're going onward and upward. Later days.